This recording is for the Fundamentals of Probability assignment in Unit 2. So there's two kinds of probability that they talk about in here. The first one is theoretical. So this is what should happen. Probability. So just based on how things actually work, this is what should happen. So to find the theoretical probability, we take the number of outcomes in the event, E, and divide that by the total number of possible outcomes. So let's look at an example. So a die is rolled once. Find the probability that you roll a 6. So if we look at a die, there it has 1 through 6 on there. And so the only way to roll a 6 is one way. One way to roll a 6. And then we want to divide that by all the possible things that could happen. So when I roll that die, what are all the possibilities? I could roll a 1, a 2, a 3, 4, 5, or 6. So there's actually 6 possible outcomes. And so the probability is 1 over 6. Another example. Again, a die is rolled once. Find the probability that you roll a number greater than 4. So I have to think about how many numbers could I roll that are greater than 4. So there are only 2 possibilities, right? Because I could roll a 5 or a 6. And then again, if I roll a die once, there is 6 possible outcomes. And so here, that's 2 possibilities. So 2 out of 6, but we always reduce our fractions, so 1/3. Now we have what is called empirical probability. And what this is it's about observed. So, if I roll a die, chances are that it's not going to come out the way that it says theoretically. So empirical is what actually happens. So this is the observed number of times it occurred over the total number of observed occurrences. So in this case, what happens is like if I flip a coin, there's 2 possibilities. So the probability that I would flip a head should be 1/2. But if I take a coin and I actually flip it and see what comes out, and I'm counting how many times it lands on heads, then I would count how many times it lands on heads, and then that would be out of however many times I actually flipped it. That's the difference in empirical probability. So, for example, if I have a chart, marital status, and so we have men and women, and so married, unmarried. And then we're also going to look at the total. So let me fill this out. Okay, so let's look at the probability that a person that's selected is married. So here's what we look for. We look for all the people that were married. So that's why the totals are here. So people that are married, there's 130 that actually are married, that were calculated to be married, out of the total number observed. So they only surveyed 204 people. So that's where we get our probability. We have 130 divided by 204, and we divide that and we get 0.64. So that's the probability that a person selected is married based on this chart. Another example. Suppose you are dealt one card from a 52 card deck. What is the probability that you are dealt a spade and a diamond? So you're only dealt one card. So to have a spade and a diamond is not going to ever happen, because in order to have the word "and" in there, both have to happen. And so in this case, the probability is 0, because I'm only dealt one card. I can't have both. So that's the end of this recording. Now you need to call, text, or Skype message me so I can ask you a couple questions and you can get credit for this assignment. Have a great day.